You know, there's a question I hear a lot from folks our age. Is it too late for me to retire early and see the world? And my answer is always the same. Absolutely not. Whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, the dream of retiring on your own terms and exploring new places isn't just possible, it's within your reach. Maybe you've spent decades working hard, raising a family, or just putting off those big adventures for someday. Well, I'm here to tell you, someday is now. In this video, we're going to walk through exactly how you can make early retirement and travel a reality, no matter where you're starting from. We'll talk about smart financial moves, simple ways to stay healthy on the road, and how to plan trips that fit your pace and preferences. And the best part? You don't need a fortune to do it. With the right approach, you can enjoy the freedom you've earned without worrying about money or stress. So, let's start with the first big piece of the puzzle, getting your finances in order. Now, I know talking about money isn't always fun, but trust me, this is the foundation that'll let you travel with confidence. The key isn't about having millions in the bank. It's about making what you do have work for you. First, take a good look at your expenses. Many of us are spending more than we need to without even realizing it. Little things, subscriptions you forgot about, eating out too often, or even paying for insurance you don't use, can add up fast. Sit down with your bank statements and ask yourself, what can I trim without sacrificing my happiness? You might be surprised how much extra cash you free up just by cutting the clutter. Next, let's talk about debt. Carrying high-interest debt into retirement is like trying to run a marathon with ankle weights. It'll slow you down and make everything harder. If you've got credit card balances or loans, focus on paying those off first. It might mean tightening the belt for a little while, but the peace of mind you'll get from being debt-free? Priceless. And here's something a lot of people overlook: your home. For many of us, our house is our biggest asset, but it's also often our biggest expense. Have you thought about downsizing, or even renting it out while you travel? There are so many creative ways to turn your home into a source of income instead of a drain on your savings. Now, once your finances are on track, the next step is planning your travel lifestyle. And this is where it gets exciting. You don't have to jump straight into backpacking across Europe if that's not your style. Maybe you'd prefer slow, immersive trips, spending a month in a cozy Italian village, or road tripping across the US in an RV. The beauty of retiring early is that you get to decide what adventure looks like. One of the best ways to stretch your travel budget? Think outside the hotel. Sites like Airbnb or house-sitting platforms let you stay in amazing places for a fraction of the cost, sometimes even for free. Imagine waking up to a view of the French countryside, all because you agreed to take care of someone's cat for a few weeks. It's not just affordable, it's a richer way to experience the world. And speaking of experiences, let's touch on health. Traveling isn't just about seeing new places, it's about feeling good enough to enjoy them. Simple habits, like staying active and eating well, can make all the difference. But we'll dive deeper into that in just a bit. For now, I want you to start picturing what your ideal retirement looks like. Where would you go first? What's the one trip you've always dreamed of? Because once you've got your finances working for you, the world really does become your oyster. And that's exactly what we'll keep exploring: how to turn those dreams into a clear, step-by-step plan. Because you've worked hard for this chapter of your life, and it's time to make it everything you've imagined. So, let's keep going. Next, we'll talk about how to stay healthy and energized while traveling. Because what good is seeing the world if you're not feeling your best? You know, one of the biggest worries I hear from people about traveling later in life is this: what if my health holds me back? And I get it. When you're no longer 25, hopping on a 12-hour flight or trekking through a new city can feel a little more daunting than it used to. But here's the good news. Traveling after 60 doesn't have to mean slowing down. It just means traveling smarter. Think about it this way. When you were younger, maybe you could get away with skipping sleep, eating junk food on the go, or pushing through exhaustion just to squeeze in one more sight. But now, your body talks to you. And if you listen to it, travel becomes not just possible, but enjoyable. in a whole new way. So, let's talk about how to stay healthy, energized, and feeling great while you explore the world. Because honestly, this might just be the best time of your life to travel. You've got the wisdom to pace yourself, the patience to savor each moment, and the freedom to do it all on your own terms. First up, movement. Now, I'm not saying you need to train for a marathon before your trip. Unless you want to, more power to you. But staying active before and during your travels makes a world of difference. Simple habits, like a daily 20-minute walk or gentle stretching, keep your muscles strong and your joints flexible. That way, when you're climbing those Spanish steps or wandering through a Moroccan market, your body's ready for the adventure. And here's a pro tip. Pack light, but pack smart. A sturdy pair of walking shoes is worth their weight in gold. Blisters can turn a dream trip into a real hassle. Throw in a small first aid kit with basics like pain relievers, Band-Aids, and any medications you take regularly. Trust me, pharmacies abroad aren't always as easy to navigate as they are at home. Now, let's talk about food. Because eating well on the road is half the fun, but it's also key to keeping your energy up. One of the joys of travel is tasting new cuisines, but if you're not used to rich or spicy foods, jumping in too fast can leave you feeling sluggish, or worse, stuck in your hotel room. My rule? Start slow. Enjoy local flavors in moderation and balance them with fresh fruits, veggies, and plenty of water. Dehydration hits harder as we age, and it's the quickest way to zap your energy. Oh, and about water. Always check if it's safe to drink. In some countries, even brushing your teeth with tap water can cause trouble. Bottled water is an easy fix, or pack a small travel filter if you're going off the beaten path. Here's something else that's easy to overlook. Rest. When you're excited to see everything, it's tempting to cram your days full. But exhaustion sneaks up fast. Instead of rushing, try this. Plan one must-do each day, and leave the rest flexible. Maybe mornings are for exploring, and afternoons are for a leisurely coffee or a nap. That's the beauty of retirement travel. You're not on a tight schedule. Listen to your body and give yourself permission to slow down. And while we're on the topic of rest, sleep. Jet lag can hit harder now than it did in your 40s. If you're crossing time zones, give yourself a day or two to adjust before diving into activities. A few tricks. Get sunlight in the morning to reset your internal clock. Avoid heavy meals right before bed. And consider melatonin if your doctor says it's okay. Now, let's talk about healthcare prep. Before you leave, check your insurance. Does it cover you overseas? Medicare usually doesn't, so a short-term travel insurance plan is a smart investment. Know where the nearest reputable clinics are at your destination, and carry a list of your medications. With generic names, brands vary by country. A little prep here saves a lot of stress later. Finally, stress. Yes, even dream trips can have hiccups, missed trains, language barriers, or just feeling overwhelmed. But here's the secret. The mishaps make the best stories later. Laugh when things go wrong, take deep breaths, and remember, you're doing this for joy. If a museum is closed or a tour gets canceled, it's not a disaster. It's an excuse to discover something unexpected. And that's really what this is all about. Embracing the adventure on your own terms. You don't have to keep up with backpackers or luxury tourists. Your travels can be as relaxed or as active as you want. The world is full of ways to explore that fit your pace. River cruises, scenic train rides, cooking classes, or just sitting in a Parisian cafe watching the world go by. So, as you plan your trips, ask yourself, what kind of experience do I truly want? Because this is your time. You've earned the right to enjoy it exactly as you please. And speaking of enjoyment, next, we'll dive into the fun part. How to pick destinations that light you up, find hidden gems, and connect with people along the way. Because travel isn't just about places, it's about the memories you'll cherish forever.